Alright, back for some more. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. We're gonna just go right back into it, continuing the role quests. I think we have 2 left. Should have just enough time to finish those 2, and that'll probably be it, because if it's gonna take like 4 to 5 hours, yeah, that'll pretty much be it for today. So let's do it. Dun, 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 dun. Damn, Rabzadhan and Thavner are pretty, you know, when they're not engulfed in apocalyptic weather because the world's ending, but, yeah. Alright, our next one is, oh, I lost their ability on Reaper because I died. Great. If you don't die, you're fine, though. Interesting. So quest battles wear down your gear only if you die and have to retry it. But if you succeed, no durability is lost. Great. So what's next? Ranged! Where is it? There we go. The dancer gland. Oh shit! The speakers are too loud. And here it is. I think I shut it off already, yeah. Yeah, the dancer armor for, well, the ranged DPS armor for the classic set. Like I said, the whole thing has a very sort of classic, I don't know if to call it Greek, sort of, maybe? And then it has a little tail, right? Yeah, the ponytail. And obviously very, very revealing. Alright, I gotta turn this down. Let me test it again. Okay, good. I had to do a volume check on that shit. Alright, what's my usual plan for this? I think I should go with this. There we go. I think that's what I had on Dancer before, so. So we're going to Doma. The Doman delegate. Alright. Seeds of Disquiet. The Doman delegate is seeking able-bodied adventures on behalf of Lord Hien. Let's see how this goes. Sure this is working? Yep. Do mine eyes deceive me? Master Leon! Oh, thank the Kami. Lord Hien has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter. The hunt for a fell beast believed to be a blasphemy. Okay, that was gonna work. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will be no match for this enemy, for it commands the skies of Doma. But as your talent for striking down foes at a distance is beyond compare, I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversary. It would be my pleasure. Oh, Kami, be praised! I shall inform Lady Yugiri that she may receive you at the Doman Enclave. Safe travels, Master Leon. Thanks, buddy. Lady Yugiri will await your arrival at the Doman Enclave. Safe travels and may the Kami speed your way. We haven't been here in a while. All are free to travel in and out of the Enclave. Do you seek passage? Oh, that's right. I could have just used the list. The map doesn't show this place from outside of it. Well, that was a waste of fucking time. I forgot that this is on, you can access this place from here. There it is. I thought you said using the map to use Aetherites whenever I'm doing quest objectives. Damn. That's like a 2-minute time loss. Oh well. It is good to see you, Leon. When we received word that you, of all people, had answered our call, I could scarcely believe it. Yet here you are. Been a long time, waifu Yugri. Have you been? Lord Hien will be pleased for this reunion, if you would wait here for a moment. It has been a while, actually, since we left Ark. Well, well, that the Kami should guide your steps to our door once more, and with such fortuitous timing. Pray forgive me for not affording you a hero's welcome, but time is not on our side. Not long after receiving word of men transforming into hideous beasts in Thavnir, a similar creature was born of a woman in Isari. After attacking another villager, it took to the skies and fled, though to where we know not. Yugri's face, he's like... An all too cruel twist of fate, for the one slain was among the prisoners returned to us in that deplorable exchange with Asahi and the Empire. Just when they had at last begun to piece their life back together. This blasphemy must be stopped. Alas, our foe is wont to keep to the skies, well beyond the reach of our samurai and shinobi. Now I see why this is a ranged DPS role quest. Thus did we seek the aid of those proficient in ranged combat, able to pluck the beast from the heavens. Of course, martial prowess alone will not solve all problems. Others have turned into weaker but no less gruesome abominations, as was the case in Thavnir, and their numbers increased by the day. From what I understand, this phenomenon is not unlike the sickness which spreads by feeding on fear and anxiety, emotions which of late can be found in abundance. Slaying the beast means nothing if the people's hearts cannot be put at ease. Lord Hien! You have to help. The villagers, they... Sir, please, calm yourself and tell us what happened. Another has been turned into mine, my lord. For a blessing, no one was harmed when the beast flew into a rage, but the people are in a panic. I fear what may happen next. Shit. It seems we have even less time than I thought. Worry not, we will see to the beast. As of yet, there is no cure for this affliction, but we will save what lives we can, I promise you. I trust you are ready to join the fray? Yep. It was last seen near the glittering basin. Come, I will show you. Still no sign of the beast, or any other for that matter. Without a cure, we've no choice but to cut them down before they can cause more harm. Yeah, where the hell are we? Oh wow, we went far. Oh. The beast was right here, I swear it. I thank you for leading us here, but it is not safe. Please, return to your village. Well, it was here, but I mean, considering how far we had to come, is it that surprising that it's gone already? I don't think so. Excuse me. We should split up if we're to have any chance of finding it. Leon, would you see to the west? I will search in the north. Yugiri, I leave the rest to you. If you find it, remember, these blasphemies are no longer people. They will not hesitate to strike you down, so you mustn't either. Now let us not waste any more time. There it is. Alright, asshole, let's go. Okay, you don't actually have to stand in the purple area to keep the fight going. Some weird brainwashing I got going on there. Full? Well, all that armor is now bound to me. That was my first battle with this, alright. Fucking chatbox gets fucking spammed with messages saying, "This is not bound to you," for like every piece of equipment. Are you alright? We heard shouting and came as fast as we could. It would appear Leon arrived on a moment too soon. Why? Don't tell me it was one of his parents. Why did you kill my brother? Your brother? Young man, that creature was not your kin. Not anymore. Had he not laid it to rest, it would have killed you and countless others. But if your heart cries out for one to blame, let it be me. The beast was slain at my behest, for it was the only way. He's pissed. No. No, you're wrong. You killed him. Murdered him. I hate you. Man, this is gonna suck. You safe? What are you doing here? Searching for Tonbo, though clearly you found him first. The monster was his older brother, as you may have guessed, and Tonbo gave chase the moment it ran off. I beg you forgive him for his outburst. His brother was all he had left. Their father was conscripted by the Empire and was regrettably not among those returned to us in the recent exchange of prisoners. The hope they might one day be reunited was their only comfort when the Viceroy still ruled. I can only imagine how they felt when she walked into Isari, a shadow of her former self. And we're going down memory lane with all these role quests, aren't we? Everything that's happened so far in MSQ. Tsuyu may have had no memories of the monster she was, but her victims still see her in their dreams. Nevertheless, like many, the brothers prayed your mercy would see their family restored. But then they learned of her death and of their father's absence. Deprived of hope and of hate all at once, they had nothing. Ah, my apologies for rambling. No, it was a rather enlightening tale. I spared the woman who brought him pain and took the brother who brought him comfort. I would hate me too. I swear I will set things right for Tonbo. For all the people of Doma. Please, return home, Issei, and be safe. Let us return to the Dome and Enclave. This ordeal has given me much to consider. Alright. Wait, that's right. Hold on, just stop here. We'll just do this. I do not envy Lord Hien the burden now thrust upon him, but he shall not have to bear it alone. Right. I owe you a great debt for your timely assistance. And an apology, for I have made you an executioner in young Tonbo's eyes. Would that I had been the one he witnessed cut down the beast his brother had become. But we haven't time to dwell on regrets and what should have been. No, we need to take action, and after hearing of Tombo and his brother, I believe I know what must be done. A great many of our brothers and sisters were returned to us in the prisoner exchange, but even so, there are those who yet remain lost to us. Meanwhile, Yotsuyu, who was directly responsible for much of our people's suffering, was never held to account for her crimes. In death, she claimed vengeance for her suffering at the hands of her brother. But it came at the expense of justice for her countless victims. The people of Doma have every right to resent me for failing them and their grief. But what of those who cannot bring themselves to do even that? Who are left alone with their anger and their pain? It may well give way to despair, and then they would share the same fate as Tombo's brother, yes. Which is why we must needs consider who else might share in this anguish. Excuse me, in his anguish, ere we find ourselves beset by more beasts. I will begin making rounds of the villages to inquire after those whom their neighbors believe are most distressed of late. Very good. I and the other shinobi shall continue our search for the blasphemy which set these events in motion. And you, my friend, we will have need of your talents again ere long. Rest assured, we will keep you apprised of our findings. Alright. When the kami answer. Ah, Leon, we have yet to ascertain the whereabouts of the blasphemy from Isari, but for a blessing we have received no reports of others that have turned. Lord Hien, for his part, will have made a concerted effort to go about the villages and converse with his subject directly. I suspect his constant presence has served to allay the people's fears. As one might expect, he has ever been dedicated and diligent, but I fear he has always been away overlong. I thought to go and visit what should have been his last destination, Isari. Might I ask you to accompany me? Okay. Thank you. I am sure there is no cause for concern, but nevertheless, I should be glad to find him quickly. Of course, milady. Why wouldn't I go with you? Oh, Lawfel's... Look, he's got the same weapons as me. Little dancer. Little dancer Lalafell. Oh, Oi. My good sir? You'll excuse me? I realize when I say gentleman, it mostly sounds like plural, right? Even though it can be used the same way singularly, it's just spelled differently, but pronounced the same. But that's why I just said my good sir instead of gentleman, like I usually do. Excuse me. Maybe we'll meet Gosetsu in this questline. Who knows? He'll make his grand reappearance here. I don't know though. I know they reused his voice actor for Vitra the dragon, but I could hear it in his voice, but thank goodness we found him. But why has he remained here so long, I wonder? What's up, Ian? What you up to? Leon, Yugiri. My apologies if I gave you cause for concern. Assessing the state of affairs here in Isari has proven difficult. To put it simply, the people, one and all, refuse to speak with me. They simply bow their heads and turn away at my approach. Knowing the blasphemy originated here, I cannot help but wonder if that has aught to do with their silence. Perhaps you could attempt to engage with the people in my stead? Surely they have no cause to deny the two of you. Clearly the person who turned was probably one of Yatsu's victims. I remember this village and what happened here. It might even be the guy that ended up shooting, or being forced to shoot his parents, which I can't remember now if he was forced to actually go through with it or not. I can't remember when Gosetsu actually intervened, so... I should hope not. Nevertheless, I will don a disguise, lest I draw undue attention. Come, Leon, let us see what we can discover. Thank you. Both of you. Alright. There she goes. Off to get changed. Do the people here not wish for the monstrosity to be laid low and for peace to reign once more? Why have they elected to behave in this manner? So there's 3 people I gotta hunt down. Better zoom out. A blasphemy? You are mistaken, my friend. Our village was visited not by a monster, but a kami. Izanami. Where Lord Hien is cold and callous, she offers us boundless compassion and love. Really? Praise be to Izanami, goddess of creation and bringer of death. So she works both ends of the cycle of life, is what you're saying. Aye, that's right. The blasphemy was born of a young woman here in Isari. Tragic, really. Every day she prayed for the safe return of her husband, but it was not to be. If I am to be honest, I fear the loss drove her poor stepmother mad. Kisei has ever been a devout believer in the kami and their blessings, but she somehow convinced herself that Minato has become one. The delusions of a grieving parent, obviously. But an alarming number of people have come to share in her belief. Heresy is what it is. Oh, wait, anything else? The people's misplaced faith in this false Izanami worries me. Something must be done about this, and soon. I owe a great debt to Lord Hien. If not for him, I would still be fighting under the Imperial standard. But the village suffered dearly under the occupation. What's more, our Lord failed to punish the Viceroy for her crimes, and failed to reunite many with their loved ones. I understand why some would think poorly of him, even if I do not. Many villagers were heartbroken when they learned that their loved ones were not included in the prisoner exchange. Even so, I wish they would not lay all blame for that at the feet of Lord Hien. So that's what's going on. And the remaining loved ones were in Garlemald when the Civil War broke out, and then the Talothroi, and oof, they might never come back now. The situation here in Isari is complicated, to say the least. You don't say. Hien? I see. Little wonder they would refuse to confide in me. The belief held by some that this blasphemy is a kami, however, is quite concerning. Izanami presides over life and death. She gave birth to the nation of Doma, and her ushers souls of the departed unto the land of the dead. I trust you understand what it would mean to deny them a source of hope in such dark times, even one such as this. The villagers also claim this Kisei can speak with the dead. In fact, she will be holding a gathering to demonstrate her powers ere long. A perfect opportunity to gauge the extent of their fanaticism. Not for me, of course. My presence would draw undue attention. I'd ask you both to attend in my stead. Our followers will be gathering in the tavern. Come. God, this music is so unsettling. It does what it's supposed to do. Oh, spirits of Isari, I beseech you, lend me your voice and let your presence be known. Cross the veil and be among us once more. Akitsu. Father? What the hell is going on? Still tending the nets, like I taught you? Yes, Father. Every day. Thanks to you, we never want for fish. Our bellies are never empty. I am proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, but... And I am proud to have been your father. May you be ever blessed by the sea's bounty. It hurts! Father, what's wrong? He is in terrible pain, my child. Those who have cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order and the spirits suffer for it. Where's this going? What must we do to ease their pain? Fear not. Izanami shall put all to rights. She will claim the souls not long for this world and deliver them unto the hereafter. When her work is finished, your father's spirit and all the others will find peace. Can you find my father? Can you help me speak with him? Kisei! Kisei! Can you commune with my husband? What about my family? Help me, Kisei, please! Oh! I would have talked to you first if I'd known that was there, but I pushed X too quick. Damn it! So is Kisei's ability all that she claims? Well, now we won't know what Yugri would have said. Luckily, most of the time when you do talk to them like that, it's never anything, like, mind-blowing, but sometimes there is some good shit in there. A young man spoke with his dearly departed father through her? I find that rather hard to believe. Even so, those in attendance appeared quite convinced, my lord. And I suspect a great many of the villagers I've spoken with recently are as well. Everywhere I went, the people were in so much pain and there was nothing I could do or say to give them solace. Yet for all their anguish, there has not been a single report of villagers turning since the incident with Pambo's brother. They're finding solace. Which can only mean word of Kisei and her ability to speak with the deceased has spread. The belief we can commune with our loved ones in death is a comfort far beyond my power to provide. Though I fail to see how the people would abide the kami claiming innocent lives to restore order. Yeah. That's very misguided and dangerous. She comes! Izanami! Oh crap, here we go. A blasphemy? Here? Well, if it started here, I guess it kind of makes sense if it came back. Lord Hien, the kami, she appeared as if from nowhere, and then in the next instant, this poor man was... Oh no, I talked to this guy. He used to be an Imperial. He's dead. Shh. So we were too late. I spoke with him before and he's sorry. You recognize him then? Curious that he and the blasphemy's first victim were former conscripts. What could the fiend be after, I wonder? Something against Garlean conscripts from Doma, it seems. Or, well, from... maybe just from Ithari, maybe from Doma in general. It does not become my lord to speak ill of the Kami. Uh-oh, who's eavesdropping? Shit. This is not good. I understand you are come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. A blasphemy, you called it, but you are sorely mistaken. My stepdaughter Minato was chosen to serve as a vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my own eyes. Well, now we know who it was. Oh! Maybe time to get some more details. That's good. Minato, please! I can't. I won't. There's no logic in it. No justice. The Witch of Doma spared, given a second chance, and my husband condemned to die as a conscript. I'll never know what became of him. Lord Hien can't give me even that. And when I look at the families he made whole at their happiness, I feel the hole in my heart, the gaping wound that will never heal, begin to bleed. I wish you could have that happiness, yeah. Only at my beloved's side will I find peace, but he's gonna commit suicide. Well, we only do that when we're in the darkest pits of despair, so... I'm guessing she's gonna jump off, turn into a monster, and fly off, right? You mustn't lose faith, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the Kami, in Izanami. I want to believe, but... Oh, gave in to despair before jumping. Oh, it's one of those. Izanami has come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between their world and ours. Surely you would not dare defy the will of the Kami? This balance you speak of has claimed the lives of two innocents but recently returned to us. I cannot, I will not, accept that the Kami would condone such cruelty. No crueler than the sight of Yatsu free and forgiven, while my husband and son fought Garlemald's wars. Now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord Hien, is it not your duty to protect Doma and her people? How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subjects? Everything always comes back around, doesn't it? Only the Kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been. Are you alright? For a moment you seemed unwell. The villagers are no doubt loath to ask it of me, but preparations must be made for burials and funeral rites. I can offer that much, at least. You seemed distracted during our conversation with Kisei. Something the matter? Oh, that was the echo. The echo. And the blasphemy was indeed born of her stepdaughter. To bear witness to such horror. How her mind must have struggled to comprehend what she saw. And as a woman of faith, perhaps her only surviving family becoming one with the divine was the only reality with which she could come to terms. I believe I know now what must be done. I but pray her fervor does not drive her to oppose us. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Oh, she's gonna oppose us, alright. This is not gonna end well. It's just gonna be a lot like the Sahagin priest guy. What do you suppose Lord Hien intends to do? From what you told me of your vision, the nature of Minato's despair, as well as the focus of her ire, is clear. It is plain she was a good-natured and kind-hearted woman, grieving for the loss of her husband. This loss alone may not have been enough to turn her, but my failure to hold Yotsu to account, together with the sight of other families reunited, compounded the turmoil in her broken heart. A path to despair paved by my good intentions. A truth that will weigh heavy on my conscience unto my dying day. Minato was prepared to die in sadness rather than live in hatred. If she could see the beast she has become, she would implore us to stop her. Which is why we must find the others who were returned to us in the prisoner exchange before they come to harm. Once their safety is assured, we may hunt down the blasphemy and bring a close to this tragedy. Right on. So what's next? Home? No longer. Ah, Leon. If you are come to ask after the blasphemy, I have naught to share. As of yet, our shinobi have seen no sign of the beast. The returnees, however, are all accounted for, and Lord Hien has seen them safely to the Kyonkun. As such, he is presently assisting with the hunt. For a blessing, there have been no reports of other villagers turning, and yet, before the situation takes a turn for the worse, there is a matter I feel warrants further investigation. Kisei. Though a villager of Isari, I suspect she may in fact hail from my home, Suinosaka. Knowing they would be loath to answer my inquiries, I entreated the Kojin to contact Suinosaka in my stead. To hear tell of it, Princess Kurenai has made great strides in establishing stronger ties with the outside world. At mention of Kisei, however, their cordial warmth turns strangely cold. Why? If we are to learn more, I fear we have little choice but to go and speak with the people of Suinosato ourselves. A simple visit for you, I imagine, but my banishment complicates matters. That said, it has been many years since I left home. Were I to disguise myself, I might well go unnoticed in your company. If you are willing to take the risk? Of course, milady. It would be my pleasure to escort you. Thank you. Let us make for Onokoro then. This guy. Escort you. I know. He made it too easy. I couldn't help myself. I had to say it. Fucking simp! Alright. I know. Yeah, I was like, this is the first outfit she wore when we first met, but without the mask on. The garments I wore when we first met. Sufficient, I think, to conceal my identity. I suppose. Yeah, she hasn't worn that since the realm reborn. Jesus. How many years has it been since since last I saw home? I am a shinobi of Doma, aye, but even as a child, I sought to ensure the safety and survival of Queen Osato. I was quite bold in those days, if not a touch reckless, and together with the other children, I often ventured beyond the borders of home. Excuse me, we yearned for adventure, and so, one day we sought to behold the wonders of Doma. Imagine our horror to discover a city of ruin and ash, Imperial soldiers marching through the streets. We fled at the sight, but in my haste I lost my way in the bamboo groves. Oh, this is the story that I never did finish reading those. So, leading up to the release of Endwalker, they actually, throughout the summer and beyond, they actually had, they were releasing these written stories that gave some more, like, background and lore on some of the characters in the story. And the first one they released was Yugiri and Hien's. And I think she's about to go over it in-game now. It was on the main website for a while. They kept, like, it was an announcement post that they released, like, once a week or every other week, maybe, I don't know. Called, like, the series was called, like, Tales of something, I can't remember. It was there I first met a young boy named Shun, a sweaty mess as he swung his wooden sword with reckless abandon. Training to fulfill his duty as a samurai, he said. Oh my god, so this is little Yugiri? He still has the same hairstyle and, like, the little strands in the back. Tiny ass horns. Having seen the destruction of which the Empire was capable, I too felt the need to protect my home. I joined him in his exercises, and every day my resolve to protect those I love grew. Sadly, my elders refused to listen. They were content to remain hidden beneath the waves, and hopefully, the Empire's notice. With a heavy heart, I left in search of the strength I believed we sorely needed. And I found it as a shinobi. But the people feared war and conflict would follow on my heels should I return. I do not begrudge them their decision, nor do I regret mine own. Part of me is overjoyed at the thought of seeing home again. Openly defying the wishes of the Ruby Princess, however, would bode ill for my family. They have suffered enough from my transgressions. That is why, for their sake, I would remain naught but a faceless shinobi at your employ. Okay, Yukri. I understand. Thank you. With that in mind, let us make for Srinosato. So she only gave us like a tiny amount of the story then. Maybe they'll still reveal the rest after this, but maybe not. I gotta go back and read those. They were lengthy though. And it's gonna be a little troublesome now. Oh, that's why. She put that outfit back on so she could put the hood on with it to conceal her identity. That makes sense. Alright. What's next, milady? All these years, yet naught appears to have changed since the day I left. But now is not the time to reminisce. We have work to do. Hisei's departure from Srinosato was likely decades ago. Perhaps the village elders will know why she chose to leave. Oh, there we go. So many fond memories. Pay no mind to my idle musings. Lead on. Fond memories indeed. I can imagine what it's like to come back to your home after so long. Hisei? The name sounds familiar, and yet... Apologies, friend. My memory is not what it once was. Let us seek out another. Okay. I pray you find what you seek. Right. This is easier. You're like, hop on, Yugri. That'd be interesting if you pulled out a two-seater that would actually show the NPC that's traveling with you, but no, I don't think that... I think I might have tried that already. This is not a two-seater, obviously, but... Yeah, I don't think it does that. But now for science, I must check. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Cheerful elder. My, it has been quite some time since last I heard that name. She was a priestess of the village, banished after drawing the ire of the former Ruby Princess. What has become of her after all these years, I wonder? Please, is there anything else you can tell us? Yunagi was quite close with her, if memory serves. Perhaps you should seek her out. Yuri shocked. Mother, I had hoped to avoid my parents, but if there's no other way... Leon, might I ask you to take the lead? Mm-hmm. And I've met your parents before, so... we might as... I mean, yeah, look at that. We've already formalized it. We might as well be a couple already, right? That laugh. Jesus, is so contagious. I say, are you not the adventurer who aided Yugiri in Doma's liberation? Uh-oh. Oh, nothing new. Not yet, anyway. And yeah, this is them. We haven't seen them in a while. Stormblood MSQ. You know me? Mother-in-law? Just... okay. Mother and father-in-law. Jesus Christ. You bastard! It's good to see you again. So what do we owe the honor of your visit? You say? Yes, we were close, but that was a long time ago. Still, if I can be of assistance to the man to whom we owe so much, I will share all I know. Kisei was born into a family of priests, and even at an early age, she was possessed of extraordinary abilities. Much was expected of her, but everything changed the day she said she could speak with the dead. No one believed her at first, but she continued to insist she could, and strove to prove it by demonstrating knowledge well beyond her years. Knowledge of events to which she could not have been privy. Word of her talent eventually reached the Ruby Princess, and she was summoned to Shisui of the Violet Tides for a private audience. No one knows what Kisei said to her in the palace, only that the princess was incandescent with rage and ordered her exile forthwith. Some believed Kisei revealed the terrible secret of the royal house, or perhaps spoke a blatant falsehood that proved her a liar. Indeed, the knowledge she claimed to divine from the dead was not always truthful, but who's to say the dead would know the truth or not seek to deceive? Thus could we never be certain if it was simply a fantasy or a power divine. The one thing that is certain is that no small number of people found comfort in her words. Would that I could tell you more, but sadly I have not seen or spoken with Kisei since her banishment. Uh-oh. Forgive me, but have we met your companion before? She looks familiar. Oh, even with the mask and the clothes, you can't fool Mom, man. She always knows. A mother always knows. The bottom answer. Oh my god, the music even goes away too. I really want to say the bottom one, but I have to respect you. I believe this is the first time our humble shinobi has visited Suino Sato. God, I can't even bring myself to push it. But obviously the way that's written, she's gonna cut me off anyway, so... I hate this. It's so tragic. Ah, is that so? For the briefest of moments you reminded me of someone quite dear to my heart. Being a shinobi, I presume you have heard tales of Yugiri Mistwalker? Should you chance to meet her, may I ask you to deliver her a message? Shit. Tell her that her mother and father love her, that we could not be more proud of her. I will. I have no doubt she feels the same, and not a day goes by without you in her thoughts. Oh, that is so sad. I believe we have heard enough. Shall we return to Onokoro? Excuse me. My apologies for placing you in so peculiar a situation. Though I must confess it did my heart good to see mother and father well. All the more reason I must do all I can to keep the peace. As a shinobi of Doma. No. As a member of the Eastern Alliance. Mayhap there will come a day when Suino Sato opens to the world. A day when Yugiri Mistwalker can be reunited with her mother and father. Would that Lord Hien could be afforded the same opportunity. But Lord Kaien and Lady Mina have long since passed. Two of too many lives lost in the Imperial occupation. I cannot imagine he would ever succumb to despair, but make no mistake, Lord Hien knows the pain of his people all too well. I can see it in his eyes, and if I may be honest, it troubles me at times. But perhaps I have said too much. Come, we mustn't keep him waiting. Being that close to your parents and not being able to say anything. After she hasn't seen him in basically, like, most of her lifetime at this point. I don't know what's worse. Like, well, I guess she kind of spelled it out for her. In her opinion and her perspective, she feels that Hien is worse off with his parents actually being dead and him having no chance to talk with them or see them again, ever. Whereas she still has the opportunity to at least see her parents like that. And be able to talk to them even if she can't admit who she is and she has to hide her identity, you know? It still has to be painful though. Like, I obviously almost fucking broke down just now just thinking about it. For a blessing, Onokoro appears to be untouched by the recent chaos. For now, at least. Yeah, I don't think they even know what's happening. They have peace of mind, so none of them have turned, it seems. Welcome back. I trust your journey proved an enlightening one. So she does, in fact, hail from Suino Sato. And you say she has possessed these divine gifts since childhood? Genuine or no, the people believe her and more flock to her side with every passing day. But the returnees are safe at the Kyoken. Its defense is bolstered. As for the blasphemy, I have spoken with our Confederate allies, among others, and together we will establish a network of contacts across the length and breadth of Doma to take up the search in earnest. Mark my words, we will find him. That's what I would call that. But one thing I've noticed is every role quest where we're dealing with the leader of one of the countries that we've been to. You know, one of the major nations of the, you know, of MSQ up to this point. Everybody that we've met who's like the leader of a nation, like Tien. You know, Raban, I guess Raban at least kind of rule over Alamigo, or they lead Alamigo like kind of in a partnership. So they use Raban for this, but you know what I mean. But something I noticed is like they always walk away at the end of between each role quest. They're never here. Like you turn it in with them, and then they fuck off, and then you have to talk to somebody else, like an assistant next to them. I've noticed it before. I just didn't say anything. It's a little off. It's a little off-putting. Like, why would they design it that way? There has to be a reason for that. My mind jumps to conclusions too quickly, and so when it does, I usually keep it to myself. But for now, since I already brought it up, it makes me think it might be because maybe those characters are gonna die in MSQ or something, and so like to preserve the immersion, in case you do these role quests after MSQ, they kind of make it so they're not just standing here even though they're supposed to be dead. I don't know. I really don't know. It's weird because before we started Endwalker, something else I never gave voice to. I did think maybe all of the allied nations' leaders were probably gonna die. And even if not all of them, maybe some of them are gonna die. Just because when you're in the final chapter of the story, all bets are off. There's no more plot armor for anyone at that point. Usually. In most stories there isn't. So I expect, you know, some major characters could probably die. But I don't know. And just seeing that makes it a little ominous for me. I'm just like, the fact that they always walk away and disappear like that, I hope it's not an omen, you know? It's like... And at the same time, because they're so involved with the role quests, which you can always do after MSQ, it also makes me think they're probably not going to die. That they do have plot armor, because it's like... It would be very immersion-breaking to see them after, you know? But who knows? Maybe it's just... That will completely depend and be explained depending on, like, how the game actually ends, how the story ends. Because I still don't know what the hell is going to happen. So it's just speculation. That's why I didn't really say anything before, because I just start going around in circles if I did that, which I'm already starting to do, so. The devoted daughter. It's just something that crossed my mind. Several times now since we've been doing these role quests. You've arrived not a moment too soon. The blasphemy has been sighted on the coast. For a mercy, there are no reported casualties as of yet. Just the man I was hoping to see. No sooner had we cast wide our net than a Confederate messenger was at our door. If he would join us, Rasho awaits our arrival at Onokorum. Dum 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 da da dum. Hear about the blasphemy, yes? Lord Hien and Yugiri should be arriving soon enough. Well now, that the noble Lord of Doma should come in person once again. Mayhap these blasphemies truly are a threat. Indeed they are. And I was told you and yours sighted our quarry quite recently. Aye, that we did. Near the islands of Shoal Rock. The beast appeared to be docile by all accounts, but appearances can be deceiving. If it is as you say, and this blasphemy has eyes only for former conscripts, then we have naught to fear. I trust those we accepted into our care are still in yours at the Kienkin, enjoying the finest Gilman hospitality? Anyway, I know not why it came to the Ruby Sea, nor why it remains idle. but if we act quickly, there is a chance we can take it unawares. I propose we divide our forces. If you're willing to go ashore, we'll take a ship and circle about the islands. The first to find it will have the honor of the kill. Ha! A simple enough plan. Shall we be off to Shoal Rock then? I had thought we earned a reprieve from battle with the Imperial withdrawal, but it seems I was mistaken. So be it. I'll not suffer this monster to threaten us any longer. Can't imagine it will take long to deal with this creature once we corner it. Man, these guys, they're really underestimating what these things can do. I suppose because, you know, skies are still clear and there's not a whole bunch of them swarming the place yet. Everybody's just kind of taking the threat very lightly, aren't they? Make ready, Leon. Should we find the beast first, we must be prepared to strike at once. Alright. This is where the blasphemy was last sighted. If the fates are kind, this will all be over soon. No, maybe we gotta do 2 more quests. We don't get to kill it till the last one, so... He doesn't know that, though. There she is! One of the booba ones. This one appeared at the end of the Amrock dungeon, too. It was just a generic red one, though. The ones in these role quest storylines are obviously colored differently. They have a little bit of variation to their design. Damn. The way he put away those shotguns, holy shit. Such speed. I thought even my falcons could keep pace with it. Ah, don't tell me that's the blasphemy flying off into the distance. I get tongue-tied easily with that word. I hoped the ill will it bore me in... Wait. I hope the ill will it bore me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight. Perhaps less of Minato remains than I thought. Minato? That monstrosity was Minato? You knew her? Her family tried to flee to Hingashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk. When we happened upon the wreckage, she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm. But they had long since grown cold. We took her to Onokoro where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horror she must have witnessed. The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. She was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Isari was that village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young Ari fisherman, and I knew at once she had found more than a home there. I saw them here many times after that. They found something comforting about this place, I think. According to reports from Razatan, the memories and desires of those who turn can influence their behavior as blasphemies. Yep. And perhaps Minato's memories are what compelled the beast to come here. I would also explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence, and the sight of you, blade drawn, no doubt stirred what little of the woman remains in the monster. That's why she ran away. Great. If that is the case, an assault on the Kyankin is unlikely, guarded as it is by our samurai. But how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sign of danger? Robbed of her parents, her husband, and now her life. I would rather we didn't have to at all. But I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. We scarcely had time to draw our weapons ere it fled. Perhaps we must reconsider our approach. There is naught to do now but bide our time. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Right. Right, I can't access it through the map. A devoted daughter. Oh man, he has been AFK for a while. If the blasphemy fears to show itself, there is no telling how long it may take to track it down a second time. Given what we have learned, it seems likely that the blasphemy will return to Shoal Rock, but that knowledge will avail us naught if we cannot prevent it from escaping again. Oh shit. Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Isari, we are come with a request. We welcome you with open arms and open hearts. What is it you would ask of me? Those returned to us in the prisoner exchange have been granted shelter at the Kienken. That they yet live is an affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami. You're literally asking him to send them to their deaths. Absolutely not. Exactly. That's the only answer you're gonna get. 'Tis not our place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to sate mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or by own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. How did your mercy for Yotsuyu serve your duty? How were your people made better by the sight of her walking free? For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by rights she should have died then and there. But the Kami willed otherwise, and returned to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for it you were denied the justice you deserve. You have every right to resent me. But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward. Yeah, not up or shut up. Let's go. Do it yourself. Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it. Are these the words of the dead or the living who yet mourn? I knew it. I got into his voice at the end because I knew it was going to be him. As I finished that sentence, I started going Atsukasetsu's voice. There he is, and he's still bald as hell. It didn't grow back. He hasn't been gone a long time, I guess. Or he just, kept it shaved. Word of the Asari priestess and her gifts has spread far and wide, and I thought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with a traveler hailing from the self-same village, who had a mind to return as well, but alas could not. And so he bid me deliver a missive in his stead. Which is? Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it you are the young fisher Akitsu. This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded in battle, but expects to make a full recovery. He's alive. But that would mean... Surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. Ha! She got fucking busted. So much for speaking as his dead father. Oh, they're all pissed now. You shall pay for this contumely. The hell does that mean? Again, the new words. You shall pay for this contumely. My daughter will make certain of that. I love how this storyline explores the whole idea of, like, tarot card readers and people who, like, claim... Not mostly tarot card readers, but mostly, like, people who claim to be psychics that can, you know, talk with dead people or whatever. And exposes them for what they are. Charlatans, all of them, without exception. Just taking innocent people's money, profiting off their suffering and yearning to, like, be able to speak with their dead loved ones again. It's, fucking disgusting. Apologize for the abrupt and otherwise unannounced arrival. As you can see, my lord here and I am returned. See that? Full glad am I for it. Thanks to your timely arrival, we have given the lie to Kisei's claims of preternatural powers. Piece of shit. Though, I understand for her why she's doing it. It's, you know... She's not doing it for monetary gain. She's obviously traumatized from what happened to her daughter and trying to cope with it, like they said earlier. But obviously, yeah, the people who do it for profit in real life, I'm like, fuck them. I gather you were apprised of recent events? Aye. Did not take long to learn the state of affairs here in Doma, and that my assistance may be required. I had heard tales of Kisei channeling the dead, including the father of one young fisherman. Imagine my surprise when I saw this spirit in the flesh. He was also on pilgrimage, paying respects to the departed, and we chanced to meet in a Liberation Front infirmary. You went all the way there? Would that we were not brought back together under such circumstances, but I am glad to see you all hale and hearty. Yeah, you too, man. It's been forever. I'm really happy to see Gosetsu again. I knew they had to bring him back somehow. So yeah, excuse me. Part of me also thinks a lot of the role quest storylines is like stuff that they probably wanted to put in MSQ but couldn't for fear of bloating it too much. This kid's gonna try to kill us, isn't he? It sounds like this is ominous. Yeah, for fear of bloating it too much, they probably put a lot of stories that they wanted to wrap up but couldn't fit it into MSQ, into the role quest lines. I'm guessing. Hanbo? Is something the matter? Tying up loose ends. That's what the role quests have been doing so far. I wish to apologize, Lord Hien. It was wrong of me to say the things I said. I understand nothing can bring back my father, but I was so angry, Please, Hanbo, you needn't apologize. It's just... My brother was always so brave. But father's death was more than he could bear, and it turned him into that monster. If he wasn't brave enough, what chance do I have? We wanted to perform the rites for father, but the body was never returned to us, so... Not that I blame you for that, Lord Hien. I understand nothing could be done. That Akitsu's father survived is nothing short of a miracle, but I fear he is indeed the rare exception. I have offered prayers at more graves than I can count. It would be cruel to give others the false hope that their loved ones might return. And yet Kisei continues to do just that, offering comfort with her lies. A tempting but ephemeral balm for wounds that have yet to heal, much like the anger some harbor for you, or resentment for the families restored while theirs remain broken. But for those like that poor boy whose hearts lack for hatred, who know only sadness and despair, aye, they too may turn. Exposing the truth of Kisei's deception hasn't helped matters. If we are to prevent more suffering, we must pursue a lasting solution. Yep. I would be most grateful for your counsel, Kofetu. There is much I could learn from your pilgrimage. If there is aught you require, but say the word and it shall be done. It is the least I can do for the part I played in Yatsuyu's tragedy. I failed her in the end, but I will not fail you, my lord. Thank you again for your aid, Leon. The day's events have given me much to consider. When our next step is decided, you will be the first to know. Yeah, on the other hand, like I said, maybe these role quests mean that these characters all have plot armor and they won't die in Endwalker, right? And the characters we're not seeing are the ones who will. Like, again, who knows? It's still just speculation, right? But Lise was not involved in the Alamigo role quest at all, so I kind of that crossed my mind too. I was like, shit, is Lise gonna die? Yeah, you know, it's. I'm basically savoring the mystery of not knowing what's gonna happen next. Leave me be. Coconut cod chowder. A Near Eastern soup brimming with shallow cods simmered in silky coconut milk. Maybe they give you food in the second to last quest to help you level up that one last time, so you can get to 90 and do the last one. Regrettably, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy since our first encounter at Shoal Rock. As Tensui surmised, it seems to fear confrontation. We, for our parts, have tried to make good use of this intervening calm. Even now, Lord Hien and Kasetsu discuss how we might prevent other villagers from turning. If you would wait here a moment, he would no doubt wish to hear your thoughts on the matter. Alright. This is probably going to be my party for the entire final quest battle. The only quest battle in the whole thing, but you know. Well, Gosetsu maybe not, because he doesn't fight anymore. Doesn't even have a sword. Leon, so glad you could come. As Yugiri no doubt explained, the blasphemy continues to elude us, and so we have turned our attention to other matters we can and should address. After long discussions and much deliberation, we believe we have found the means to allay the growing malaise of our people. If you would, Gosetsu? The idea came to us after considering young Tombo's remarks about his father, whose body was never found and returned to Doma. Others no doubt share in his melancholy, unable to bury and mourn their loved ones as is their right. But simply, they cannot make peace with their loss. Their anguish, if left to linger, may consume them as well. That we might provide the people of Doma with comfort and closure, we will hold a national funeral at the Swallow's Compass. Those who choose to attend will be asked to present personal effects of the deceased they wish to be enshrined there. There's always some kind of ritual towards the end of these things, isn't there? Except maybe the Limsa one. Yeah, that one didn't have like a big ceremony or anything. And Gridanians, you could say, didn't have a big ceremony either, but they did have us plant trees. And, you know, kind of sort of... Spirits reside in all things, be they living or inanimate, and though we may die, a part of us lives on in the items we cherish most in life. Therefore, in lieu of remains, these belongings will be afforded a place in the royal mausoleum, that the spirits of those lost to us may find their way home, to Doma, and at last, know peace. The announcement has already been made, and a great many people are now engaged in the difficult task of deciding which keepsake will serve as their offering. It is not a decision to be made lightly, but I suspect they will have made up their minds by the time we go to collect their chosen tokens. I also hope to learn more about the departed from those willing to speak with me for my benefit and for theirs. To break free of their sorrow, they must seek joy in the memories and the love they shared with the departed, and I will help them find it. Might the liberator of Doma be willing to favor the people with his presence as well? I doubt not that they will appreciate the gesture. Good thing, man. Good. Yugiri, I leave the people of Ithari to you. Gosetsu, might I ask you to... Apologies, my lord, but there is a small but most urgent matter I must first tend to. That look. Very well, I shall not pry. Now, Leon, let us go and pay a visit to the good people of Namai. They both looked at him all shady, and he just looked away like, I'm not budging. I'm not telling you shit. Right then. Before we begin, I would remind you that you need only listen to the tales of their loved ones. As overseer of the ceremony, I see it as my duty to deliver their effects personally. Because of this, it is of the utmost importance that we keep clear of any beasts that might damage our cargo. It goes without saying how important it is that their offerings are delivered in pristine condition, and I will be no good to you in a fight while heavily encumbered. If stealth or flight are not options, I must ask that you fight for us both. But we needn't worry unless the occasion arises. For now, let us be off. Thanks. I pray this ceremony helps to find the closure, help them to find the closure they so rightfully deserve. Right. My husband, my dear sweet Maroya, never returned from Garlemald, but perhaps now his soul might know peace. Please, take this painting brush to the Swallow's Compass. I shall handle it with the utmost care. Might we trouble you to tell us more about your husband? Maroya was a kind and gentle soul. There was nothing he loved more in the world than to create. That brush never left his side, not even when he tended the field. Any spare moment was dedicated to his craft, and he produced the most wonderful vistas of Yangsha. It was his dream to take us to Kugane, where he would become a famous artist, until he was conscripted. In the early days, he would send drawings of the places they took him, though I know not how. But more time began to pass between each arrival, and then they stopped coming altogether. I know not in what far-flung land he died, but I pray it was as beautiful as his works. It sounds like quite a man, to hold fast to his art, even when forced to endure such hardship. His soul will find peace, of that I have no doubt. That was Maroya's favorite brush. Please do take good care of it. Right. I must thank you again, Lord Yen, for this honor. My son would have been overjoyed to know that his katana would be enshrined at the Swallow's Compass. Nay, the honor is mine. I am sure your son was a fine warrior. Aye, and so was I once upon a time. A samurai, as it happens. In service to your father when the Empire first invaded our lands. Excuse me. Though we were defeated, our spirits broken, my son Motosu was never one to lose hope. He was determined to follow in my footsteps, gave his everything to honing his skill with the blade. When I watched him train, I felt the pride I thought I'd forsaken swell in my breast, and I knew he would restore our family to its former glory. Alas. He could have fled, perhaps started life anew as a vagabond of some sort. But he bore the burden and fought for Garlemald, for fear of what the Imperials might do if he did not. Tis plain he was a loving son and a warrior true. I will care for his blade as if it were my own, and see it given the honor and respect due a samurai of Doma. The samurai of Doma. Optosa would be so happy. I realize it's quite large, but I wanted to offer this on behalf of my brother and our father, Suzushiro, excuse me. If you are willing, I would very much like to hear more about them both. My father, he was a carpenter. He was a good man, if a bit stubborn, always thinking about his work. The only time he ever seemed to enjoy himself was when he had a cup of sake in his hand. When my brother came of age, he took up the trade as well. It brought them closer. I'd see them laughing over drinks together or listening in silence to the crickets singing under the moonlight. Oh my god. The simple pleasures of life, yeah. The little things. I wanted to join them one day. This was their favorite sake. I thought they might miss it. I am sure it will taste all the sweeter having come from you. I realize no one can ever replace your brother or father, but if you will allow, I would be honored to share drinks with you in their stead. When you are of age, of course. This should be everything. Would you join me for a short reprieve before our journey back? Thinking about my brother and father finding peace at the Swallow's Compass is comforting, like a weight has been lifted from my heart. Of course. They put on brave faces, but the people of Namai are still racked with grief. It is the same at every village I have visited in recent days, but it is only now that I am struck by the contradictory nature of my goals. Having joined the Eastern Alliance and taken steps to revitalize the Enclave, I believe Doma was at last on the path to peace and prosperity. I still do. Yet by focusing so keenly on the future, I have neglected the past that yet haunts my people. Even if they do not give in to despair and become beasts that plague our lands like poor Tonbo's brother, how are we to truly move forward if we are constantly looking back? Is there not someone for whom you yourself still grieve? Me? All things considered, I suppose it was only a matter of time before the subject was broached. Ha! He cuts to the heart of the matter, and the young lord. For the best, I should think, for he cannot lead by example if he has not yet made peace with his own past. I knew it was him immediately. 1,000 apologies, my lord. I was passing through, tending to the matters of which I spoke earlier, when I chanced to hear familiar voices in the distance. If I may be so bold, the people of Doma, one and all, understand the source of your pain. To lose your father in the turmoil of a failed rebellion, his staggering duty to the throne thrust upon you. Aye, how could you even begin to mourn, when first you had to lead? He's got a sword back. Maybe he's going to join the fight. It would behoove you to take part in the funeral rites, my lord. Take this time to make peace with your past while it is still yours to spend. Though unlikely, if not impossible, were you to become a monster as well, Doma would surely be lost. I thank you for your counsel, Gosetsu. But if I may ask, why is it you keep your blade at the ready? I thought this personal matter of yours to be naught but a trifle, or am I mistaken? He noticed it too. Well, I find the katana a superior tool for peeling persimmons. Oh, nice choice of food there. Speaking of which, I do believe my stomach begs for sustenance, if you will excuse me. That's what he went to go do. He went to go get his sword back. Training. To help slay the blasphemy, no doubt. Fitting that he should offer me counsel, yet refuse to heed it in kind. He is not the warrior he once was. But he is wise, our obstinate friend. If I am to be perfectly honest, it frightens me to recall it. The moment it all came crashing down. We had taken Doma Castle. Victory was ours. But then we looked out and saw the banners of the 12th Legion marching towards us, the Crown Prince at the fore. No sooner had Gosetsu and I escaped than we received word that Xenos had slain my father. I remember how the fight went out of Gosetsu in an instant, how he wept for his lord, while I felt the weight of the profound duty bear down upon my shoulders, crushing, suffocating. The heat of my own breath, the chill of my clammy palms. The duty demanded I master my emotions, when all those around me, Gosetsu included, were consumed by anger and a thirst for vengeance. I had to be in control. Under my orders, we dispersed and fled to fight another day. To this day, I have not stopped to reflect on my father's death. How could I, devoted as I am to finding Doma's way forward? But now I must. And so, having taken you into my confidence, would you see this through with me to journey's end? Of course. The keepsake I would offer up for the funeral is hidden in a place not easily reached. We will have to fly there, I'm afraid, but worry not. My Yol will ferry us. Just a moment. I know where we're going. We went there for the ninja job quest. Place we seek is Plum Springs in the mountains. Shall we? Go! See if I can keep up with the dialogue. This is really cool. I wonder what other players see when you're doing this. Do they just see you riding on a Yol by yourself? Or do they not see you at all? Actually, I don't think they see you at all, because I can't even target myself right now. Or Hien. I think you just disappear and then just pop out when you get to your destination. Basically, a prolonged yet scenic teleportation to your destination is what this is. But you just disappear off the map and then reappear somewhere else. But see, I don't even have the option to dismount, so... You're locked in till you get there. I always take moments like this to analyze things on a technical level in video games sometimes. I'm like, oh, I wonder how they programmed this. Like, I'm very inquisitive about that stuff. I get curious. My parents would bring me here for Hanami as a child. Its beauty and serenity was such that I could forget the realities of the occupation. Indeed, some of my fondest memories of family are here, which is precisely why I chose this place to conceal the singular gift my father bequeathed to me as a child. What was that? That's a little doll or action figure! Charming, is it not? Yeah, the Great Auspice Kitian Dashing, if that's how you say it, said to reside somewhere along the Daryu chain. I met him. He's real, alright. In those days, anyone and everyone knew the tales of his prowess. Reckless boy that I was, I once even tried to seek him out, hoping he might help us. I buried it here shortly after my coming-of-age ceremony. It seemed a fitting place to both part with my childhood and offer a final goodbye to my mother. Damn. More a keepsake of mine than his, to be sure, but he was never a man of worldly possessions. Still, I suspect he would allow himself a rare smile if he were to see it again after all these years. And that is precisely how I wish to bid him farewell, with a smile. Ah, it go without saying I would prefer it not become known that I kept this doll here. Wouldn't want the children to grow jealous now, would we? Your secret is safe with me, man. My lips are sealed. And with that, I believe it is time we return to the Enclave. That's neat. The two of you were away for quite some time. Is everything alright? Yeah, we're fine. Excuse me, there are yet more villages to visit and offerings to collect, but preparations are proceeding apace. Soon the people will have one less cause to be tempted down the path of despair. Of course, there still remains the problem of the blasphemy. The former conscripts will remain at the Kenkin until that has been dealt with. We will slay the beast in due time, but before that I would be honored if you were present for the funeral rites. Excuse me, pray speak with Yugiri when next you visit the Enclave, and she will tell you more of the proceedings. Alright. There's the coconut cod chowder. Laid to rest. Yugiri's somber expression suggests you have arrived right on time. As ever, your timing is impeccable. We but moments ago completed preparations for the funeral. I will inform Lord Hien of your arrival. Alright. You're here. Excellent. The blasphemy continues to shun our settlements, and I mean to make the most of the time its absence affords us. I assume you were planning to take part in the ceremony? Of course. Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, Gosetsu will not be joining us today. He's injured himself, as I knew he would, with his secret training, and now grumbles from the confines of his bed. But he will be fine in due course. We may worry over his convalescence after the funeral. Okay. Practice follows compass. I like that they tied that, that temple/dungeon into this because that is where we actually met the, the figure he was talking about in the doll that we found or whatever. Or the doll he showed us. How have you been, Hakuro? Come to assist in the hunt for the blasphemy, are you? I pray you find your quarry soon. For all our sakes. Okay. I'm guessing he says that from the very beginning. His dialogue might change once we're done with this. Milady? Go. I don't know what the hell's happening there, but... There was a peculiar-looking doll among the effects, but I can find no record of it in our stores. Would you happen to know who brought it? Sorry, Yugiri, I do, but I can't tell you. Anyway. Like last time, I gotta use the restroom real quick before we start. Which is probably a bad omen, because that means it's probably gonna go like last time. I'm gonna fucking die. I also might have to read, I might have to review the tooltips for my role, not necessarily the job actions, some of them, yeah, because I haven't done level 90 stuff, obviously. But mostly the role actions for range DPS, because I am very unfamiliar with those. BRB. Alright. Let's hop to it. Let's see how this goes. Heavy. Slow it down. This is obviously just a heal. Binds it for 10 seconds. What this does, okay. Useless in combat. Might need to use this one. We had to use it with Rend Array for the roll quests in Shadowbringer, so. Interrupts the use of a target's action. Head Grace. That's this one. And yeah, knockback. Alright, that's not too complicated, thankfully. So, the first one, Leg Grace, is to slow it down, right? Yeah, slows it down. The other one stops him completely, which, unless it's used for a mechanic, it's not going to work anyway because it's the boss fight. And this will interrupt actions. And yeah, the other ones are self-explanatory. Alright, cool. As for the level 90 stuff, see, if you guys noticed, I was also stumbling around with my hotbar as Reaper as well, with the previous role quest, because I'd only played Reaper up to level 80 content before, since I hadn't played anything in Endwalker, so I didn't know how to effectively use all the level, 90 stuff that came after, because I'd never played any level 90 content before, with any job class, so it's like all new to me. Gunbreaker's a different story, because I was, when we did stuff unsynced, right? I got familiar with the level 90 stuff for that one a little bit. But with the other job classes, not too much. So let's see, what does this do? I'll review some of the other stuff too, because what is this one? This will just rate, yeah, I remember that. I remember what that does, Yep. They can use the, where's that one? There. Yeah, you get the procs instantly. Saber Dance was an AoE, okay. Uses up your spirit gauge. Improvisation, what this one do again? Healing over time. Oh, but you have to stand still. Okay. Healing over time, but you have to stand still. Shit. Alright, now the new stuff that I've never used. Fan Dance 4. Conal AoE. Only while under the effect of 4-fold dance. Okay. I used this in the previous fight, but I don't know how I actually activated it, so. Critical direct hit to all enemies in a straight line before you. Okay, so a rectangular AoE. Probably a thin one from the looks of it. Flourishing Starfall, which is different from this one. Facts of Rising Rhythm. Oh, I see. So use this to build it up, and then you can use this one, right? Interesting. Oh, and don't move, right? Keep it while it's active. I think I might be able to practice this right now. One, 2, 3, 4. That's cute. I like that. Neat. I don't have much opportunity to use it, but still neat to know it's there. Ilana. Doesn't attack only right. Okay. Okay. Now for traits. Start with the 80 to 90 stuff. The things I'm most unfamiliar with. Finishing finish after executing technical finish. That's technical step. And then technical finish becomes Tilana while under this effect. So it's a follow-up. Wasn't there something that depended on that? That was Fourfold Dance. Flourishing Starfall. Probably something else then. Yeah, that's something else. This is Flourishing Finish. Right. Fourfold Fan Dance. Upon executing Flourish. There it is. Flourishing Starfall upon executing Devilment. Oh, okay, so that's how I did that. I used Devilment, and then that's when it allowed me to use Starfall Dance. And then using Enhanced Flourish will grant me Fourfold Dance for 30 seconds, which will allow me to use Fan Dance 4. Okay, those are the things I mostly had a question about. So basically, use Endevilment and Enhanced Flourish on, Flourish and Endevilment on cooldown. And then when you do, use Fan Dance 4, as well as Starfall Dance. Yep. Okay, I'm good. The most important ones will be the roll ones. Leg raise to slow them down, stop them, interrupt. And the rest are explanatory. Alright. Whew, here we go. I'm already getting nervous. Alright, we already read that. The villagers should arrive ere long. Then we may begin. Fuck, here we go. Let's hope this goes better than last time, huh? I like that these role quests, well, the final battles in these role quests, do a good job of making you familiarize yourself with how mechanics are probably going to work in endgame content, since it's level 90, the quest. And, you know, teach you how to play your role, eventually. Regardless of the job class within that role that you're choosing to play. I knew, you guys heard me, when I did tank and healer, I knew physical DPS and these other two are probably going to be the same thing. I was like, lots of mechanics, because they want to teach you to be quick on your feet to dodge everything, because you die very quickly as a DPS. Anyway. Lord Hien, I apologize, my lord, for my past transgressions. I yearned to believe my daughter was a Kami reborn, but you were right. She is a monster. Words can ill express my shame for advocating the conscripts be sacrificed to appease the dead. It's like she just kind of wanted revenge or something, in some way. Nay, this ceremony shall serve far, far better. And so, as a humble citizen of Doma, I offer my deepest gratitude, and beg for your forgiveness. I would make an offering on behalf of my husband and son, as well as my dear stepdaughter Minato. Excuse me. I throw myself on your mercy, Lord Hien. Allow them a place within the mausoleum, that their spirits may know peace. Right now, Hien's not buying any of this. Now he is, I think. I wonder if she's sincere or not, though. I don't know, this is kind of sketchy. There is no need to beg forgiveness, he said. Please, rise. Yep. Oh god, why is that so loud? That's twice! You almost get taken out like that, Ian. First Yotsuyu and now this chick. She will come for you. Ooh. Yep. Yuri doesn't fuck around. That was fatal. By the Kami. She gave her life to draw out the blasphemy? This was her contingency plan? Oh my god. Damn, dude. What grief can do to you. Blasphemy Izanami. Is she wearing a turtleneck sweater? What the fuck is with the purple thing there? Right here. This is the first role class where we actually get to hear an Endwalker song. Interesting. Well, now they decided the music for this. Finality. Well. Might as well, now that I know what it does. That's the name of the song I found out. Finality. Alright, can I use Dance Partner on him? Hell yeah! Alright, let's do it. Minato holds me responsible for her stepmother's death. I will keep its attention. I did not mean to push that button. I fat-fingered that hard. It means to charge. Leon, can you break its focus? That was hardly any time at all. Jesus Christ. I think I read the tooltip for that, huh? Pigeon wall. Oh my god. That's an AoE. God, I haven't played this class in too long. That's an AoE too. Formidable foe indeed, but we will not be bested. Damn it. Ah, I could have used it before it ran out. I lost my nerve though, I moved out of it immediately. Shit! Alright. The air is thick with her malice, you don't say. Now would have been a good time to use the dance. Fuck. Ready to strike. On your guard. Oh! I can't move! Shit. Oh boy! He's here! Apologies for the untimely arrival, my lord.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Oh! Gosetsu? What is that stuff? He learned a new job! Pilgrimage proved the most enlightening experience and is where I chanced to discover the benefits of ascetic training. I may no longer be fit to wield a blade, my lord, but Shugendu affords me another way to turn the tide of battle. Hell yeah, let's fucking go! We got a healer! Stubborn as ever. I shall have to thank you later. Let us put an end to this. I thought they were gonna keep that music playing. Well, at least we get to hear Stormblood music again. Never a bad thing. The boss music is good. Alright. Ian's still my dance partner? Okay, then let's do it. We must discuss your change of vocation after dealing with the blasphemy. Yeah, you don't say. Quickly, we must protect Gosetsu. How do I... this is nothing. How the fuck are we supposed to... Can heal him though. I know he can heal himself, but still. It comes from me. Perhaps a grazing shot will break its... what? Concentration? That was so quick. If I waited till I finished reading that, he would have died. Or we all would have. That moves quick. Shit moves fast. Oh, this again. Oh, at least there wasn't a gigantic fucking dinosaur of a monster blocking the view this time. Part of the reason I didn't see what was happening in the melee DPS one. Same mechanic otherwise.
The weed of a shinobi's power.
I'll follow Waifu Yugiri. Alright, this time I'm with you, Gosetsu. Let's do this. Dude, it's... we got no tank, I just realized it. It's just all DPSs and... fuck you. Just all DPSs and a healer. Come on! Die, you piece of shit! That was a little less crazy. The melee DPS one was more like bullet hell for a while. Even though I dodged all of those, the mechanic that killed me was the one where you had to gather with the person using the shield AoE or whatever. Since I got myself confused with what they were saying, and then I couldn't really see what was happening, and I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. I was expecting bullet hell for this one too, but it wasn't that bad. The melee DPS one was much worse with the AoEs. A deceiver to the bitter end. She is still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. So she was hoping to at least take out Hien. And then even if somebody killed her, you know, she knew that her daughter would finish the job and kill everyone else. Well, yeah, those of us around Hien. And then even if she failed to kill Hien, but she did, you know, the monster would finish the job. Damn, dude. Yui doesn't fuck around, dude. She's a good bodyguard. Those ninja reflexes. Struck her down like fucking lightning before she could reach in with that knife. Excuse me? I have gathered you here today not to speak of the future, but to reflect on the past. To pay respects to loved ones fallen on the field of battle. In honor of their sacrifices, these sons and daughters of Doma shall be given a place here, at the Swallow's Compass. Though they no longer walk with us in life, they walk with us in spirit. They never forget their bravery, but the memories of their legacy give you comfort and strength. Maruya Matokawa, the aspiring painter. He was a man who saw beauty in all things, and one day would have become a renowned artist in Kugane. Motosu Jito, the warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father and bring honor to his family. Suzuhiro Kodakumi, the carpenter. A man wholly dedicated to his craft, who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children. The theme of remembrance. Funerals, ceremonies that kind of resemble them or closely related to that. Things that are sorrowful but bring people together. We're seeing it a lot. And lastly, Minato Shihogaki and her stepmother Kisei. Theirs was once a happiness to be envied. I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious, like, the themes of this expansion are definitely, like, holding on to hope, and by way of doing, like, you know, to do that, holding on to each other. You know, holding your family and friends close, and supporting each other through really dark times. I probably shouldn't have said all that, you know, being, pillars of support for each other, when things get really hard. Minato's parents were murdered by Imperial soldiers, and after being rescued by the Confederacy, Minato was given into the care of the village of Isari. Excuse me. Though she arrived with a broken heart, it was soon mended by the man who would become her husband. The son of Kisei, who herself had been born to Isari on winds of tragedy. Kisei was a child of the deep, born in Suinosata. For her gifts she was exiled, but with her courage and tenacity found a new home on the shores of the Ruby Sea. She was a devoted wife and mother, and though not related by blood, she loved Minato as if she were their own. That is how she lived, how they all lived, and how they should be remembered. Let your hearts swell not with sorrow, but with joy for their memory. Know that proof of their mark left on this world shall remain here, enshrined within the Swallow's Compass for all eternity. Let us still our voices and in silence pray for their souls, that they may share in the peace we have found. Oh, excuse me, I think it, more than the cutscene, I made myself cry when I said all that stuff. I think, saying it out loud made it hit home harder. My gradual realization of, even though it's been pretty obvious since the beginning, but, you know, seeing it pronounced more and more as we move on through the story and doing these role plays. The theme of, holding each other up, being pillars of support, like I said. Keeping your friends and family close through dark times so that you can all make it through together and not give in to despair. I don't know what it was, but when I first said all that, I think I didn't even really have flashbacks. I think just emotional memories of knowing how true that is. That you need, you know, you really need to stick together with your loved ones to make it through really hard times, and you know, not lose sight of hope, not give up, and help each other ensure that you know you can do those things, so you can all survive together and pray for a better tomorrow, I suppose, no matter how dark things get. And I love that they made that the theme of this expansion. It's very timely considering everything happening right now in the world. It's very timely. This expansion really hits home the theme that it, you know, embraces, and yeah, it hits home. So I apologize for that. I think it was me realizing that, voicing it out, and the music of the cutscene. All of that came together and made me nearly break down. Like, I couldn't even narrate without my voice. God, I was crackling so much, I couldn't even... Damn. Also, hi, Deathwing Duck. Welcome back. Happy to have you. You came in at a very emotional moment. Many tears were shed throughout the ceremony. Not for grief, but for relief, I think. Happiness, even. Traditionally, the royal mausoleum is reserved for the ruling clans, but I have no doubt Lord Kyan would approve of his son's decision. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting battle with the blasphemy as a prelude to the ceremony. At least now we may breathe easy, if only for a short while. The villagers have all returned home, and I believe it is time we did the same. Yeah, I think what really brought out my emotions like that was remembering the sense of hopelessness and despair that a lot of people were obviously feeling from the uncertainty that came into our lives suddenly when the pandemic first started. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have personal memories about what they might have been feeling when all of that first started, so I think for me personally, that's probably why all that stuff kind of rushed back to me. The fear that came with the uncertainty, the fear and despair that came with it, when it first started, you know? It reminded me of that, yeah. How, well, my family and friends were able to sort of come together to try and support each other. How we all supported each other through those times. But, you know, it's not over. And I'm not just talking about the pandemic now, but, you know, everything else happening in the world now, too. The atmosphere is still there. The uncertainty and all that, so... I think that's why that emotion came out of me. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating on why I suddenly got like that so suddenly. I'm not yet well versed in healing magics, but thankfully it was enough to be of some use to Lord Hien. Yeah, you can't fight with the sword, right? Never in my wildest dreams did I foresee Kosetsu embracing the ascetic arts. Yeah. We've held a national funeral and slain a blasphemy besides. A rather productive day, would you not agree? The former conscripts will be elated to finally return home. Speaking of returns, I think I speak for us all when I say your appearance at Swallow's Compass came as something of a shock. What of your injuries from training? Quite painful for some time, I assure you. Despite my best efforts to reclaim my former skills, my back and my hips vigorously protested. I planned to sleep that I might be well rested for the morrow's hunt, but a voice called out to me. I was needed, and so I grabbed my cane and ran as quickly as my ailing body would allow. The cane suits you, Gosetsu, but your mastery of healing magics was a sight to behold. Almost as surprising as your resurrection following the fall of Doma Castle. Actually, yeah. That's a good way, that's a good comparison. I am still but a novice in dire need of training. It is my hope that I will be able to refine my ascetic arts during my next pilgrimage. So you are leaving then? Worry not, Lord Ian. If you find yourself in dire straits once more, I shall fly to your side. Not as a samurai, perhaps, but I will nonetheless give our enemies cause to tremble. And with that, I take my leave. Damn, we gotta say goodbye to him again. Excuse me, though it may be years, if not decades, until we truly make peace with our past, we have turned a corner and begun to heal. We may look to the future unburdened by grief, ignored and sadness denied. The path ahead is ever fraught with peril, but we shall walk it with eyes unclouded. And with pride. You have done so much for us, for Doma. I wish there was more I could do for you. All in day's work for me. I'm glad to be of help. But may I ask for one last favor before you leave? Please inform our representative at Razatan that the blasphemy has been vanquished, and the people of Doma are safe. With any luck, our experiences here will prove useful to other nations that yet grapple with these beasts. Oh man. My rambling made this go on like 15 minutes longer than it needed to, but I couldn't help it. It was just... my emotions just came out like that. When my brain finally realized what exactly this story was about. It's expansion, you know? What I've been trying to say the whole time. Like I said, I don't know, I think subconsciously I had already realized it, but... that was just probably the moment it actually hit me, like, consciously, you know? The people of Suinosato will be relieved to hear of recent events. I wonder what Mother and Father would say. Safe travels, Leon, and may the Kami bless you. Obviously, the other major thing it says is every ending is a new beginning, right? I don't think we'll see the theme of... well, I don't think we'll see that theme popping up until we actually reach the end, though. All in due time, though. All in due time. I hope Yuri does actually get a chance to be reunited with her parents one day properly. You know? Actually be able to talk to them. Though, you know, I think they knew, though. Mother always knows. And we saw how her mom reacted. She knew. She knew that was her daughter. And she also understood why they couldn't talk openly. Master Leon, you are returned. What word from Doma? The blasphemy is no more? That is most wonderful news. I must inform the other delegates at once. Thank you again for answering our summons. If another threat should rear its dastardly head, I pray we can count on your assistance again. More than loneliness. These achievements. More than death, more than guilt, more than loss, more than loneliness. Wonder what the last one's gonna say. They'll all be neatly here too, because it's 5. I guess Ishgard is our last stop. Alright, well, I gotta take, as usual, my little break, because it's been over 2 hours. And cut the video and all that, and maybe try to recompose myself. I'm still a little emotional, just trying to keep it together right now. Yeah, I'll be back in about 10 minutes, as usual.